There you go. There's the Regulancer community intro vid. I can come back on screen now. I actually need to go to the Freelancer. Whoop. Or I'm positioned slightly differently. Freelancer channel screen for this, so I'm not positioned in the way of the UI. Alright, and I need an accurate soundtrack for this, so excuse me. Where is the soundtrack that Daddy needs? It ain't this one. Seriously, where's my Ace Combat playlist? It's probably this one, but I just need to get rid of all the Command & Conquer in it, because then inevitably Command & Conquer always dominates the playlist when I have Command & Conquer in it. Hua. Take to the Skies! Yeah, someone asked, is this the game by the Star Citizen guy? Yes, it is. This is one of the old games by Chris Roberts. It's from 2003. 2003, I believe. So it's an oldie. I was literally 13 when this game came out. The Big L says, I never played this, but it looks like a more RPG-focused version of Free Space and Free Space 2, which I played the Diff in my middle high school days. PG says I was 5. Yeah, this game fucking rules. Let's just wait until this fucker, Adam Cabrera, stops cargo scanning me.
You're all clear. Nothing unusual.
So, again, especially because it's a Regulancer stream, just introducing this like to someone who doesn't know what this game is at all. Yeah, it's like a space... I hesitate to call it a sim, but yeah, it's like an RPG space sim combat shooter. It's really fucking good. Benny says, didn't Chris Roberts get kicked off Freelancer before it was mostly done? Yes, and that's why Freelancer is probably really good and got released. It is an old game though, and despite its age, I still do think it's probably the best space game in this kind of style of game that I ever got to play, and that I ever have played. I really love it. And I still think it stands up today. We're gonna fly out to the rookie zone. I still think it stands up today as one of the best game of this genre. And that's why I'm modding this game these days with Bmod, is because I still believe like it's the best the best space game there is. But there's definitely parts of it that, despite that greatness, that were kind of like feeling outdated to me when I started playing this game again, you know, a few years ago. One of them was the combat, like, was pretty slow-paced, and especially against the AI. Very slow-paced and boring against the AI. And basically, the big idea of this, I mean, if you type in !BMod in chat, there's like a description of what the mod sets out to do. But basically, one of the big things was to make the PvE in this game way more interesting, way more challenging, way more fun. Make it a big part of the game, and basically make like this kind of PvE, VP kind of experience. Also something that's like about being open world and, you know, involve different playstyles as always of Freelancer, so trading, mining, yada 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 yada. Right now we've really only focused on the combat part of it. We're still pretty early days in doing what we want to do. We picked up development. We started developing this, me and Milo, like 3 years ago, but then we stopped after a few months, and then we basically didn't do anything with it until we met back up and got the band back together a few months ago. And what we want to do is have it be, you fly around, you get better loot, you get back to the planet with your good loot safely intact, you put it on your ship, upgrade things, get better at the game, get better gear, contact left. We won't waste LRMs on them. And, you know, you go in that cycle. Now, this is the rookie zone, so these fuckers shouldn't be much trouble for me. So I'm always prepared to eat my words. But if you've never seen Freelancer before, I'm going to turn it up, it's a bit quiet. It's a space shooter. It's a third-person space shooter. You can go in cockpit mode, but why would you, honestly? Let me kill this one so I can turn the sound up. Missile missed. I missed. Alright, let me alt-tab real quick and turn that up. One sec. You can't see nothing because I'm tabbed. How's volume 69 sound? That's better. Maybe even a little bit too loud. Just turn it down a tiny touch again. That might be about right. I'm gonna fly over to the slightly harder area of the rookie zone. So there's, right now we have one system, both if you're new to the game and don't know what's going on, or you're actually like a Freelancer vet watching this for the first time. Basically what we've done with our mod is we've locked off most of the content of the game in an effort to like better balance the small things we are starting with. So a lot of those ships and stuff like aren't in right now from vanilla. And we only have one system that's accessible right now, which is Colorado here. And we're just focusing on making that system have a lot of shit to do in it right now before we expand to others. The basic design idea is have like 3 things and make those 3 things really cool and fun and polished rather than, having, you know, 30 things that are all over the place. I've got a 3B here because now we're in the hotter zone. Gonna give them some long-range missiles. Oh shit! Which both miss. I want to be aggressive here because I'm outnumbered. I want to get one down quick before I get overwhelmed. So the other Star Citizen, kinda, yeah. I got a veteran here and 2 rookies, I think. The rookies are easier to kill and worse at aiming. My shield's going down because they're both on my tail, though. So I'm gonna get the shield down. Get a missile into him. And then I'm just trying to, like, get on their tail and take them out, which can be hard with some of the server ping. I've got, like, a lot of ping with the server. It's, like, more for American ping. But certain weapons make that easier and hotter. Fuck, I'm out of energy. Let's go very Ace Combat. That's the idea of the mod. Do you have any ideas to make the economy more interesting? Yeah, we haven't done a lot of it yet, but yeah. We're trying to make the economy very, like, a thing you have to think about. Oh, Jeff's incoming. Hey, Jeff. Just trying to get my energy bar back down there. The yellow bar is ammo energy. We're trying to make it like that Tarkov kind of thing where making money really matters. And looting's a big part of it. And there's different ways to make money apart from that as well. Shields regenerate after a certain amount of time as a primary if you never played Freelancer before. But the red bar, hull, that never comes back. Until you repair. I can't type the shitbox right now, hang on. Oh god, what the fuck? Jeff, don't bring them all here, what the fuck? Jeff, please don't bring more spawns here, fuck! I gotta bail from that. Okay, I think... Well, Jeff, come here now! Fuck! I need to get the fuck out of here, that's too many. We're gonna fight for the big rocks. Where the fuck are the big rocks? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, there's 8 of them! I gotta get to those big rocks. They're hitting me with cruise disruptors, which stop me from engaging in travel drive. Jeff, get out of here. Get out of here, Jeff. Use the rocks to lose them. Fuck! I get disrupted again, fuck. Ah! Okay, I think I'm away. Is Jeff away? Jeff's hopefully away. How are my countermeasures? I'm on 14 countermeasures left out of 100. Yeah, that's not what we want. You good, Jeff? So drones are not a thing anymore? No, nanobots and... Fuck! Oh, we can take this. Jeff, we can take this. There's only 4 of them. We can do this. No, bots and bats are gone. See you, Bizzable. Nope, there's the rest of them again. Fucking run. lead them away. Lead them away from the others over here. Is Big complaining of mods? I'm making the mod. How's Jeff doing? Jeff is in trouble. As long as we don't pull the other 4 over, we can definitely take these 4. Jeff! Alright, I'm just going to go in and help, I think. And hope the other 4 don't come. Jeff, they're right there. You need to fly away. Evade towards Denver. Don't pull 8 at once. Okay, Jeff's away, good. Alright, missiles. LRM and SRM. SRM got countermeasured or something there. Server's laggier for me today than usual, I think. It's hard for me to hit them when they're evading. I got the shield. So we have an autocannon on the loadout that's like, uses less energy. But can't impact shields, but does good hull damage. That's the thing I'm swapping to sometimes. One down. Jeff's doing okay on hull. They're like all on Jeff, it looks like. Missile evaded. Oh, I flew straight to a fucking rock. Destroyed. Jeff's shields are down. Little rubber banding. You want to get right behind for a nice missile shot like this? Yeah, just like that. One more hit will do that one. Shield's back up. So we're basically using our energy blasters to get through the shield, and then missiles and autocannon to try and kill them once they're low. That one's on fire. Is this game like Ace Combat where you're always moving? No, you can do BSG style maneuvering like this. Engine killing. It's definitely a big part of the game. You can definitely do it. Gonna fire an LRM. Take out the shield. Destroyed. Jeff's on half hull, but we're okay. All of them were on Jeff the whole time, I think. The base game is less like Ace Combat. The mod that we're doing... Oh, this is a light fighter, a Hawk. It's fucking nimble as hell. This, is very Ace Combat inspired in a lot of ways. Good lord. Alright, so with that, I'm going back to fucking Denver. Oh, it's Dora Bush. It's Laura Bush's friend Dora Bush. But yeah, sorry, when I get into a fight in this, it's hard to, like, tell you about stuff, too, because I'm, like, busy not dying. But now we should have got some loot off that, too. You got some bounties we can turn in for money. We got some... quite a lot of captive pilots, actually. That's a ton of them. Haha. Like, everyone I killed ejected. What's the largest ships this model have? So, right now, the biggest thing we have is, like, player pilotable is freighters. I want to eventually do capital ship gameplay, like frigates, destroyers, cruisers, battleships, but I don't want to do it until there's a point to them. We want to do, like, combined arms gameplay. The freighter kind of already is that in how it does, like, a more strategic, slower combined arms gameplay. And the idea is to... yeah, I know, shitbox. The idea is basically to not put in something that has no point, because a lot of mods put in something like capital ships, and I think they don't really have a purpose. I know when I played Disco, like, 10 years ago, yeah, the freighter's Rhino says, yeah. When I played Disco 10 years ago, they have, like, all these capital ships, but it never felt like they, like, actually meshed into the gameplay in, like, a good way. Like, it just felt like people would show up these giant battleships alone and just fuck with you for no good reason, and it was just kind of weird. So, we have ideas on how to do the capital ships, but they're not coming in until... oh, rip. They're not coming in until there's a real purpose and a role for them as a player pilotable thing. They do already exist in NPC hands. There's already a Liberty frigate that's already in this system. So let me repair up.
Repair complete.
Sell what I looted, so we looted some equipment. Which is all kind of stuff I want to sell here. Extra shields and shit. We'll refill all of our ammunition. I'll turn the game, like, slightly down more, too. So refilling our autocannon ammo.
Loaded into cargo hold.
Cruise disruptor missiles.
Loaded into
SRMs.
cargo hold.
LRMs. And those countermeasures, which we ran through almost all of.
Into cargo hold.
And then we'll go over to commodities and sell some, two, like, bounties. So you get these as, like, a lucrative reason to be doing combat. Sell some food rations as well. The pilots, if you want to sell them, we gotta either take them to Battleship Rio Grande or Prison Liner Thames. The Prison Liner gives the best money for them, so I guess we'll take them there. We'll go take them to the prison factory, just like Andor. When you first start on the server, and if you do want to come try this, if it looks interesting to you at all, even though, you know, we're still pretty early on in what we want to do with the mod overall, it's still, like, pretty playable now. You've got Light Fighter, Falcon, and Eagle, which is Light Fighter, Nimble, Heavy Fighter in the middle, and Very Heavy, which is kind of like slow like a brick, but more guns and armor. If you do want to play the game, feel free to click on the BMod thing down below. It takes you to our Discord. You can go to the landing page there, just say, hey, I want to play the game with the mod, want to test it. And I'll add you to the playtesters channel and you'll get access to play it within like a day or two.
Freelancer, Zeta 7-18. This is Planet Denver. Planetary docking cleared. Good luck out there.
Alright, so what do I want to do next? You break the server's dev record in no time? I'm glad to hear it. So that is the rookie zone. It's pretty rookie. It's pretty rookie, pretty rookie coded around here. Until you get down to that area I went with like the extra big rocks, which is like a subzone that's more dangerous. Where do you even get Freelancer these days? If you come and playtest with us, it comes with a build that's like shareware. So you don't need to like, because you can't buy the game anymore, it became abandoned, so it's like abandonware. So we give you the game with the build essentially, so that you can play it. But this is overall the easiest field. Then you got down here at Silverton, this is probably like the next one up. It's a bit of a big conflict zone where big wings of Xenos are fighting big wings of Liberty Navy sometimes, and they're clashing and you help out. Then there's this one, Alamosa. You're on your own up here with this one of the Xenos a lot. They have like these freighters with like long-range missiles that'll spam you too. And then this is where the Xenos base is, the enemies, or a base, or your friendlies if you're playing a pirate character. And this is probably the hardest field to be in. They spawn really fast and often. They have the freighters, they have defense turrets, it's a nasty place to be. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4 in difficulty right now. Do you have the Lord and Savior Starflyer and Star Tracker? I hate those ships so much, but everyone else insists that we keep them. But they're not like balanced in the mod yet, but I am being literally blackmailed into ensuring that they be in the mod. Yeah, Xenos on Aliens, by the way, yeah, they're a pirate faction. They're called Xenos because they're xenophobic, I think. Xenos are basically space maga. Like, I'm not making that up, that's basically their lore. Their background is that they are like a bunch of blue collars who rebelled and made this like insurrection guerrilla war faction because they want to kill and blockade off all the foreigners that come to Space America because they're taking their jobs and yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, they're very yeah. Kakona, yeah. The asshole Liberty Rogues. Yeah. They I'm not politically aligned with them, I'll say that much. And they are the main enemy here in Colorado if you're lawfully aligned. If you are playing with the Xenos, then your main enemy is Liberty Navy here, who are fighting against them. Here, I'm gonna fly on ahead.
Dock.
And head to Silverton. You can join any faction. That's the idea. Right now, we don't have an easy way to let you start as a non-Xenos character because we had restarts in the game, but for some reason it was like crashing the game a lot, I think, when you use them. I think we actually fixed that with the jobs board. I think it was the jobs board, but anyway, yeah. There's like gear and shit on Ore base. You can totally be a pirate. I've got a pirate character on the server that I'm not playing right now. Most of the design so far has been for the benefit of setting up like fun gameplay loops for the lawful players, because we believe very much with this mod. Not only is it a problem with mods, you know, when you... Or we don't want to do a mod where you have like a kitchen sink approach, where you just have like all this content but none of it's very fun or balanced. Like everything should have a reason it's there. The other thing is... We don't want to do a mod where you have all this shit and like, yeah, it's okay, but then why do you even bother playing the game? You know, you need to have a reason to play the game, like gameplay loops, like... That's why we're very much trying to push the idea of like, you know, going out and doing combat and looting better stuff, making money to buy better gear and then take that out next. And then having like incrementing difficulty as you go through the areas in the system and then systems in general. So there's always new threats to push yourself to face. Always getting your skill better, getting your gear better, getting your ship better. Though at the same time, we're also trying not to make it just like... We're not like vanilla where it's like one ship is level 1, the other ship is level 10, and level 10 is just way better than level 1. We're trying to have things like be a lot of side grades as well. There's like a bit of a blend where it's a bit like Battletech if you've seen that tactics game, where most gear can be like considered a sort of side grade to each other in a lot of ways, but then there'll be plus versions of gear, which is just like a straight upgrade. And that stuff's rarer, and you'll either have to sink a ton of money into it, or you'll have to find it randomly from drops. Cranial says, what happens when you get blown up? You respawn. At the moment, you respawn, you keep all of your gear but that's equipped, like your guns, but anything that isn't equipped, so like just loose cargo, like loot you've got on your run, you lose. It just flies into space, other people can loot it. So as a player, you can Tarkov, you can fly in and just blow people up and take all their shit. And then fly off and sell it or equip it if it was good loot that they'd found. So you can imagine the way this game works being kind of like... you fly out into like a faraway system when we open up more systems, right? You're out there in the woods, there's no one really around to help you. You're fighting hard enemies, you're getting cool loot that's like rare and powerful. And you're getting like, you know, expensive shit you can sell for money. And, you know, you're doing that, and then you're doing that co-op or alone. And then, you know, maybe some red players show up who are hostile to you and come and fucking kill you and take all your shit, like scav hours. That's the idea, anyway. Gonna double over here. LRMs. What you need to do to hop in this server, you need to join the Discord down below, Sono. On the BMod banner. I want to switch to my Winchester's loadout. And you need to basically get me to add you to the right channel. And then you need to wait until Milo logs on to give Git access to you. And then we have instructions what to do next. So obviously while I'm playing right now, I can't give you access to the server, but once I alt tab or whatever, I can get you in. And then if Milo's around, he can get you into the server. Now, Shitbox Aficionado is a special player because Shitbox, even when me and Milo haven't had much time to develop the mod lately, has continued to play this mod for like fucking months now. Shitbox has just basically been like the one person left in the Quake server, as we haven't been playing much or developing it much ourselves for the past month or so. Shitbox is like the resident ace in my opinion. Shitbox doesn't think they're very good, but I think Shitbox is very good at the game, and is basically the server ace right now. Shitbox actually has better gear. They've like got a upgraded rarity shield. What else have they got? Have they afforded anything else? They've got a better repair mine. And Shitbox is basically living the dream out here. They are Mobius 1 on the server right now. I hear a laser. I hear I've got a lot of bitches on me, I gotta dodge. Is it mouse and keyboard only, or can you use controllers or HOTAS? I don't know, man. I'm not a joystick enthusiast. I could not tell you if you could use fucking HOTAS for... Oh, I'm in fucking trouble, Freelancer. I'm in fucking trouble, Jesus. Yeah! It's definitely designed for mouse and keypad. It's a virtual joystick. For the mouse. I'm the opposite. I made DCS playable with a mouse and keyboard by begging people to help me set up, like, Python scripts for it. I'm the opposite of you. I hate using joysticks. Alright, they got them off my back here, so I'm good again. I hate these guns. I want to get different guns before we go to another field. I hate these guns. They're not for me. Oh, they change aggro when you attack them? That's cool, Jeff. Yeah, they usually don't do that. It's a problem that I want to solve in the mod. Is that AI doesn't really, like, threat switch. I gotta take some of the leading software off. I'm missing my shots. I gotta zero my gun better. Oh, I see, Jeff. Interesting. I'm so bad at my autocannon today. Because I'm out of practice. Okay, we're gonna put in an LRM from the side as we come back into the fire. Pair of them. Oh, which it evades. LRMs are much less agile than short-range missiles. Got him. One on me. Two left. We got the Falcon and the Eagle, which is the heavy fighter with more guns. I think it's the one firing the laser, too. These things are less agile, so it's easy to outturn them in a heavy, or easier. But they've got a lot of, like, armor, shield, and weaponry. Oh, and that's not a feature. That's just rubber banding from lag. Got him. Logo says, I noticed the fighter craft tends to ram into things a lot and doesn't care much. And I guess that's intended. Yeah. Yeah, you don't, like, crash and blow up. It's very generous when you hit stuff. It does like a little damage, but it's not much. Like, you can just go like, bonk. It is moddable, but I don't think we want to have you take a ton of damage. Honestly, because it'd just be annoying. Like, I've rammed into something like 5 times a tons. 5 times already today, and if that killed you like Ace Combat every time, it'd be so annoying. I'm gonna fly back to Denver and change my loadout. Be right back. Keep fighting without me. Seems like it messing if your aim is punishing enough. Yeah, it definitely fucks up your aim. How does the loot work? Everyone gets a share. So loot is just there's absolutely no kind of like looting system in this game. It's got no round robin, nothing. People blow up, their loot flies into space like a simulation game, and you press a tractor beam button to loot it in if you're close enough. That's it. It's just fastest finger. So if you're playing with other people around and you're not like friends or at least have the decorum of like cooperating, then it can get like old school Diablo where people are just like taking all the loot, yeah. But there's no systems at all, just loot flies into space, you loot it. Okay, now I can save you all some time because I'm an admin dev. If I remember the commands, there we go. I'm cheating here, but we're doing a showcase, baby. No one needs to watch me fly back to Denver.
Repair complete.
Just teleport myself there, my admin powers. I'm gonna sell the flashpoints. So I'll talk a little bit before, as we do a loadout here, about the different, like, the different kind of, like, loadout ways you do your shit in this. So there's different kinds of fighters. We used to only have the Falcon line, the civilian, different weight classes of these ones for a while. But recently there's been some more different kinds of ships. I'll try to show some of them as we go through, too. I took a bit of inspiration from Battletech in a lot of the new weapons that are in. And rebalance all of the old ones, so they're all meant to be trade-offs to each other. The biggest thing to note when you're doing ships is that there is a weapon hardpointing system, which is kind of similar to Battletech, kind of not, where there are different sizes of slots, and then there's different classes of weapon that goes in those slots. So this ship, the Falcon, for example, has 2 small missiles, 1 medium missile, 2 medium energy slots, 1 large ballistic slot, and 2 small slots that can be a hybrid between energy or ballistic weapons at a small size. And then you have all your other gear like cruise disruptors, mines, countermeasures, shields, thrusters, blah 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 blah. And that differs from ship to ship. So as, for example, if I go in a Hawk, the smaller fighter, you'll see that a lot of these weapon slot sizes go down, so you can only fit smaller weapons in them. And sometimes you'll have like just less or more of them. And it's meant to be like a scale like that between agility and speed versus firepower and health and stuff like that. Hang on, I gotta alt-tab my chat fucked up. Cranial says that's like 3 times more hardpoints on Falcon than in vanilla. Yes, absolutely. And when you get into the medium slots, you can fit more. So for example, normal blasters, which are the normal guns of vanilla Freelancer, they're an energy weapon now. They're just called blasters. We just put them in the class of gun. And then you have like auxiliary weapons like new missiles, autocannons, lasers, stuff like that. But to keep the guns relevant all throughout, because we still want the guns to be like your main pew-pew weapon in this, and then you support it with other weapons, as you go up in slots, in energy slots, you can fit more guns. So a small energy slot is you put in 1 flashpoint, for example, or 1 blaster. But then as you go to medium, you can do things like put a laser in, but you can also just go 2 times. And it's basically like a hard point that then takes a single turret that has like 2 of those guns welded together. A large slot can do 3 times. It's slightly less energy efficient, but yeah, you've got like twin-linked and tri-linked versions of these blasters. Because they are the default rifle of the game, and we wanted to keep it that way. But if you want to get, you know, something different, you can go, okay, I'm going to buy an M laser. And I don't know if I'm actually going to use this, but let me just fly out for a second and show you what it looks like. Lasers are these weapons that are... You know, these are blasters, right? Lasers are weapons that are incredibly energy inefficient and don't even have that good DPS over it, but they have really good high burst and they're instant hit, like that. And you can see in those fights, especially because I'm a player with ping, I'm in Australia playing to a server in America with like 200 ping minimum, that with the old netcode of the game, sometimes that can be a real problem for me. And that's why a weapon like a laser, even if you don't have ping, honestly, because it can be hard to hit people who are evasive, can be really good, because then you just go and you reach out and touch them. And of course that's super powerful, but then because the actual weapon's DPS on paper and energy efficiency is terrible, it's very hard to use nothing but lasers and stay competitive. So they end up being like this more like kind of support weapon is the general idea. Though some ships are better at using them than others. In fact, maybe instead of just changing my loadout up, I'll go get a different ship from the Rio Grande and fly that instead. And show you what I mean.
Dock.
Understood. Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 1.
So in the like full kind of like vision of this, which, you know, is what we're steaming for, these are Liberty Navy ships that you normally want to like get your reputation up with the Liberty Navy in order to be allowed to buy. As this is just testing right now, we just let you buy them right now, like fuck it. So here we have the other ship line. So these are the 3 Liberty Navy ships we can pick from. The Patriot, Defender, and Guardian. And again, it's light, heavy, and very heavy, but we have steps in between that. So the Patriot, for example, is actually like an even lighter. It's an ultralight fighter. And that means it's even more, or, you know, it's intended to be, yeah, it's even more nimble than the Hawk, but it has even less, you know, even less health, basically, stuff like that. But the Liberty Navy line also in general has its own kind of flavor, as a lot of the lines do. The Navy's line is energy focused compared to the civilian one. So if I go ahead and I pick up a Defender, right? I'm tempted to get a Guardian so I can PPC all over the place. Oh, should I? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a bit of very heavy fighting with energy weapons. So, oh, I don't have enough money. So I have to cheat again here and give myself some money. Give cash. Yeah, I'm going to show them PPCs. Yeah, give cash. Billions. Or is it cash? Oh, fuck, I can't remember the command. Well, I'm not going to be able to buy it because I already got rid of all my money. Unless I start a new character who starts with 5 mil right now. Ah, what's the fucking command? I use it on stream all the time. Give cash? Help. Help. Never mind. Not you. Help. Here we go. Cash Manager. Core, AFK, Condor, Arena, Auto Buy, Betting, Bounty Hunt, Cash Manager, Death Penalty, Kill Tracker, Mark, Message, Miss commands. Those aren't admin commands. Give cash. Credits. Cash. I don't know. I literally just have to switch characters, I think. Hang on. I think I have a character already with that kind of shit, because I have a freighter characters too. So let's go ahead and just go... You test? Yeah. Test should start with 5 mil, so I should just be able to buy shit.
Freelancer Lambda 16-11. This is Planet Denver. Docking ring clear.
This is Navy.
All aboard the battleship Ariana Grande. Alright, buy the Guardian.
Ship purchase complete.
And let's load it up. Cranial says, I missed some of your stuff, but you said, so I can be a total rat and be the most hated person on the server. Yes! And that's what we want. We want this to be not just PvE. We want to make the PvE more fun, but then have it be like a PvP game as well. Like if you played Tarkov, how that game has the AI scavs, but it has the PvP combat. And one of the things we're going to do, I got to fly back to Denver now to get my gear, I think. But one of the things we're going to do there is not just like have the gameplay loops we were talking about for PvE stuff, but also for PvP, and really involve all that in the gameplay.
Everything's a go for launch.
So we want it to be organic. We want to like encourage people who like PvP. It's like, okay, you can do that. You can like show up into our normal gameplay that we've already designed, and you can just slip right in as a fucking rat pirate who just fucks everyone up and takes all their shit and is just a PvP hound. And it's not just like a thing you do just for fun to like duel because you're a PvP hound. Like you can actually make money doing that, you know? Or you just want a PvE, you can do that too. So let's gear up. We already got a VHF shield, which is going to be more powerful than the HF one. Loadout-wise... What do I want to do? I want to show you the lasers and the PPCs as we go today. What do you want to see first? Lasers or PPCs? Because running both at once is going to be too much energy drain, I think. Too much heat, basically. And it's kind of going to define the loadout we build here. I think I could run like a pair of L lasers, which could be really... Yeah, you want to see lasers? Let's do lasers. I think I run a pair of L lasers, and I think... That's actually too much. That's too much energy, but I can run a pair of M lasers, I think, and get away with it. So the thing about, like I was saying, these ships have more of an energy focus, so you can see its different slots to the Falcon. They trade away the big ballistic slot to instead be a hybrid missile or ballistic weapon. So you have to pick, do you want a big missile launcher or a big autocannon or ballistic weapon? And then everything else is energy focused, except for the small missiles. The small missiles are like these side-loaded, like wingtip missiles basically, that take a very long time to recharge, like 2 minutes, compared to the normal missiles, like 12 seconds. So, okay, we'll go for 2 medium lasers, which cost less energy but don't have as much range or damage. Because I think this is kind of a sick build. I've tried it before, and I remember this being pretty good. And then we want fast-firing weapons that... because fast-firing weapons in the balance of this mod are the most energy efficient, while slow-firing weapons are the least energy efficient. Because slow-firing weapons have their own advantages in how they let you shoot and move, stutter step, be defensive. So I think we probably want a bunch of Justices. Justices are pretty energy efficient, do good damage, they're a Liberty Navy weapon. Let's grab 2 of them there. We're going to grab, in the large energy weapon slot here, we're going to grab a 3x Justice, Tri-linked turret. And that gives us 5 blasters and 2 lasers. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a couple of LRM pylons, which are the very long recharge LRMs on the sides. And then an SRM launcher. Oh, we actually get to have a SRM-2 launcher, which is 2 missiles at once. I think these are working correctly, because we have a large slot here. And we have to pick between this or a autocannon. I think there's all kinds of different autocannons you can pick from. Like, this one does 8,000 damage on hit. It's like an AC-20 from Battletech. I think that overall... having an autocannon as a trade-off to the energy would be better than a missile as a trade-off, that they both kind of fill a similar role. But I kind of suck at hitting with the autocannon today, so I think we'll have more luck with the SRM launcher. I also just love missiles. I love firing missiles. It's so fun. But now we have to make that choice, you know, now we can have both.
Into cargo hole.
Fill up on ammo.
Into cargo hole.
No need for autocannon ammo though. There's these things we can buy as well that are like a unique thing we made in this mod called ZP, Zero Pointing Targeting Modules. These are just things that help you get past the ping. The game kind of acts weirdly with ping, or even just anyone on multiplayer. I noticed it was really hard to hit enemies, as everyone did. And so we made these things that basically let you zero your crosshair to be forward or back based on how you want it. So if you find your shots are missing a lot, you can use these things to zero your gun. And make your fire more accurate, essentially, if you're missing your enemies a lot in dogfights. So with all that done... Oh, I gotta get my cruise disruptor. We've put a good bit of, like, new weapons and stuff into this, and I put a good bit of thought and care into, like, how each ship, weight class and ship line and everything, each different ship gets its own identity through the types of slots it has and the number of them. And I'm pretty happy with it, because even as the, like, developer of the mod, basically, I still feel like there's no one true meta loadout I love, and I'm constantly, like, trying to switch between loadouts Battletech style and, like, tweak things and try new things out. And to me, that's a sign that, like, things are going well, you know? I love that. That's the idea. Is that you don't just, like, run one kind of ship all the time, but you actually have, like, you know, you try different things, and different things are better at different roles. Like, this loadout I built here is going to be really good at killing AI, but I wonder if it'd be good in PvP. Or maybe vice versa. Lasers are probably pretty strong in PvP. Alright, so we're much slower, as you can see, on the turn rate. We're, like, marginally slower in terms of ship speed, like 10 out of 300. Cranial says, is being a trader possible, or is this a PvP-focused mod? Yes, it is. I want to warn you, though, that right now, we haven't got around to putting much into it, but we absolutely want to. What we want to do is have multiple ways to play the game be viable. So combat is one way, but then there's trading, mining, and salvaging are other things, as well as exploration. For mining and salvaging specifically, we want to bring in... I just gotta put some time into it and get it done. It's possible right now. But basically a whole system where rather than vanilla's mining, where you just sit here and shoot rocks, and like sometimes stuff you can sell pops out, instead we want to do a system where it's a bit more like fishing, where you're flying along and on your scanners you'll see like, okay, here's this asteroid that is full of, you know, let's say copper or beryllium or whatever, right? And this is My cat's starting, I'm sorry. And okay, let's say this asteroid is a small, medium, large asteroid. It's rich, you know, richly dense, it's shallow, whatever. And you go up there and then you blow it up, mine it, and get the goods. And the interesting thing we can do there is we can make it so that those asteroids, or salvageable shipwrecks, for example, are really hard to mine or impossible to mine unless you have the right mining equipment. And then that can make a role for specific mining-focused ships, where it can be like, okay, getting through an asteroid to mine it would take like 10 minutes with fighter guns, but a mining freighter or a small mining ship could just show up, use the mining beam, and blow it up in, you know, with specialized equipment in like 30 seconds, right? And we can do the same with ship salvaging, where we can have it be like you're flying along and you just see like, okay, here's a shipwreck, and I can go salvage this shipwreck, and maybe instead of just having like copper inside, it has like, you know, rare loot. Like, oh, I went and found this shipwreck, and I looted it, and I got like a rare gun out of it, you know what I mean? And I went home and I equipped it, or I sold it to someone else. Trading is also really important to us, and one of the reasons that having these non-combat ways to play the game is so important is not just because I think it's cool that people can do other things, but one of the most critical things is that kind of ecosystem is core to what makes a open world space game like this interesting for players in PvP. Because maybe you don't want to trade, or mine or salvage. You don't want to get on a big freighter or whatever and fly around and do this space trucking shit. But the fact that other people do gives you shit to do. Because then if there's traders in the game space trucking around, then pirates have something to raid. If pirates have something to raid, please don't do that to me. If pirates have something to raid, then there's a reason for traders to hire other players to be their escorts when they're trying to do their trade runs and give them a cut of the profits, you know what I mean? That kind of shit is awesome to me, and it's what always made this game so fun to me when I played Disco, is it's not just that this game is a dogfight simulator, but like, there's a huge universe to explore, and, you know, you're doing your shit in it. You're doing your thing, and other people are doing their thing too, and it's like that kind of social MMO in that sense, where you get to live in a world full of other people doing things. Let's engage. Shields are down. Now, the lasers aren't very good against hull. They're mainly good against shields, but we'll use them anyway, because they'll still do something. A pair of them will still do a lot. What's bad for me here is I'm really unagile, so... I can't really dodge fire. And that's pretty dangerous for me here. I guess you didn't like Elite then? Never played it, but... no. Oh, fuck. I need to, like, dodge and try and get my shield back. My shield's very low. No, I think what's really awesome about Freelancer isn't just the single-player aspects, but the multiplayer MMO aspects. These servers in the heyday had 200 players on them at once, and I think that's awesome. We got some Navy helpers here. There goes my double missile launcher. We got some Navy helping us out, so that was awesome. Real McDyson says, that's such a big thing, I love that. I play MMOs like they're single player, but the good ones, the games that really just dominated my life at like places. Exactly, and I have the same experience because I played Discovery Freelancer, which was a 200 out of 200. I'm gonna say the word, it was a roleplay server for this game. It was literally a roleplay server. You had to name yourself after like actual names or call signs. You couldn't just type lol in chat, like you had to actually type like a character basically. And, you know, people can look at that and go it was cringe, and in ways it was, in some ways. But I love roleplay, you all know I love roleplay, I love D&D, I love that shit. And done right, it's so fucking awesome. And it was an awesome experience in Discovery Freelancer, being in this universe of like 36 systems with all, you know, 36 factions, fucking 200 players logging on at the peak, all in these different factions with different politics going on, different shit. And I spent a lot of my time in Disco just in one corner, one system of the universe, and it still felt awesome. And I still felt the ramifications of political movements and, you know, players, systems and systems away. And I think that's huge, not just from, like, you know, a roleplay perspective, but from a gameplay perspective. Just living in a multiplayer game that is a multiplayer game. I hate modern MMOs. I don't like to play them. Where it just feels like you're in a theme park by yourself and other people are there, but they don't matter. Like Black Desert, for example, right? Or more modern WoW. What I loved was Vanilla WoW. Vanilla WoW, where it really felt like you had to cooperate with people a lot more. And it really mattered. And the game was hard. And that's what I want to do here, is absolutely nothing like a theme park. Instead be like, you can play the game solo, because I think it's so fun to do these dogfights solo, but you can play it solo, but you can also play it co-op. You can play it PvP, PvE in both those senses. And we want to have a set of challenges, not only gameplay loops that reward both kinds of players, solo or co-op, or, you know, but also have a set of challenges that encourage you to, you know, cooperate. Like, having these fields where you can fly around and pick your fights and be like, that's too many enemies, I won't take them on. But you can also just do this, where you group up with, like, a couple of friends, and you just go out there and you fight, like, everyone who comes at you. And then as we progress through the systems and areas, have areas that, like, it's tough, possible, but really tough to solo, and basically make that go all the way up to, like, having raid content, where you could have a clan... Oh god, Jeff's dead, what the fuck? Oh, Jeff's fighting the Navy, what the fuck? Jeff hit the Navy, rip. Basically have a situation in this where you could have, like, a clan of 10 or 20 players who have a fleet of, like, freighter support ships, different classes of fighter, you know, that's where eventually capital ships have a role, and you could go to a PvE experience of your guild, basically, to a level of enemies that requires you to have, like, a fucking fleet to take on. Or you could have PvP, where, you know, they're bringing a fleet, you better bring a fucking fleet, you know what I mean? And that is where capital ships excite me, is not as a thing that you as a solo player, like, fly around in a fucking frigate by yourself, because that's dumb, but as a thing where, like, group play. Capital ships are things that we definitely want to keep as... If you fly out in a frigate on your own, you will get swarmed by a pack of fighters with torpedoes, and they will fuck you up, and you will die, and you will feel stupid. But if you have a frigate, and you have, like, some escort with you, like, you have a few fighters, and they're defending you as a screen, then you have a lot of fucking guns, and it's gonna be really hard to take you out, used properly. And then that necessitates the role of having enemies with capital ships, and it's kind of like an arms race there. Where we also don't want it to be like, if we ever have big ships like battleships, that you just go to the biggest. It should be like battleships, frigates, destroyers, cruisers, carriers, everything has a role. And the best fleet is going to be the one that combines those roles. That's the idea. Okay, let me get into the fight here. See ya, motherfucker. Now, the very heavy fighter here has the energy to run these two lasers, but otherwise it'd be very difficult to run this with this much energy. But that's my dream. My dream for this mod is we can make it something that, like, there's a lot of people playing. That's also one of the reasons that we're keeping to one system right now, is because if you only have one system, and you only have, like, a small player base, then it's okay, because you're all in the same area. Iron says, you're a bit surprised you never tried ED if you're into this sort of thing. I'm gonna be honest, I just thought it looked boring. I thought all the ships in ED looked like pancakes. And dumb. I thought the fact that it was single player only was boring. I feel like ED, I looked at it and it's just like the Xenonauts of space fighters. And what I love about Freelancer is it doesn't get itself stuck in being like a realistic game. It doesn't care about being a simulation. You can fly around these planets in like a minute. You can just circumvent them. Like, what is that? Like, that doesn't make scientific sense. It doesn't matter. These are games. They're fun. That's what Freelancer's great at. It's just a fun game. And it's incredibly immersive for that reason. The decoys are sexy? Thank you. I'm glad you like them. And that's why I'm here, like I said at the start of the stream. I think this is the best space game. And that's why I'm working on it to make it even better, because this is the game I want to play. The twin SRM launcher I have fires silently. It's a bug. We're working on it. But just know that whenever I fire my missiles, it's like silent right now with the SRMs. And I can't really fix that yet. Lasers! Missed. You can see Shipbox has got the same guns I do, Justices. Yeah, I like being a Space Trucker tuner, Conrad. I did a lot of, like, trade runs in Disco Freelancer that would take, like, an hour to complete, and I thought they were fucking awesome. It's really fun. It's a vibe. So I myself like that. Oh, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him! Damn it, bitch! Evaded. Now, if I had L lasers, I could hit them at that range, but I don't. But the M's use less energy, and they're a lot more efficient. Which is why I picked them for this loadout. You can see we don't really have energy problems with this, which is good. Asteroid cracking in ED is orgasmic? You know, I've never seen it. I'd be curious how it works. Especially as someone who's gonna try and do mining in this game too. How the polish and visual of it feels. Oh, there's one on Shipbox's tail. I'm gonna hit the brakes so they fly right by. And missile them. When you're in the very heavy fighter, you're bringing the firepower. You have a lot of firepower. And you're a big old rock. Oh, my poor kitty, who's never been fed. Recharge. The thing about the lasers is if you don't follow up on the damage they deal, you basically do nothing. Because their DPS is bad, but their burst is really good, if that makes sense. Because their refire rate is quite slow. See ya. Real McDyson says, Elite Dangerous feels like a tryhard simulation. It feels like they put all those shitty little sub-rules in D&D, the rules everyone ignores because they're just a bit too much. They took all of those and mashed them together. It's that with a space game. That's pretty much exactly what I thought when I seen it, so... And I heard about people playing it, so I'm glad I wasn't wrong. I'm gonna kill these two, and then I'm gonna go try the PPCs out so you can see them instead. LRM's away. I want to show you everything today. I want to show you some freighter gameplay too. So I'm trying to run through the different loadouts quickly. Whoa, big wave coming in. I fucking love the lasers. I really do. Their DPS is shit, but their burst is amazing. Yeah, speed of the ships has been heavily changed, Cranial. You remember playing a mod for Freelancer that boosted the cruise speed to 500 or something. So we have 500 cruise. Base Freelancer speed is 100, with thrusters putting you to 200, I believe. The big thing you may not have noticed is that thruster play is kind of gone. We basically disable the thrusters, and I'll explain why in a second when I'm refitting. But that's a big change we made to try and, in short, stop the E-kill meta. The jousting meta. And make the game a bit more like Jets, but still have E-killing be a thing. But I'll talk about that more in a second. Let me kill some fuckers first. Those missiles got flared. E-killing, engine killing. The BSG maneuver, as everyone always calls it. Oh shit, LRM just fucking hit me. They're trying to run. Don't let them run. Yeah, I'm a real aesthetic slut myself, Real McDyson, so I don't like the way ED's ships look either. Is why I also never tried it. I just don't like how the ships look. They look like pancakes. They look like Star Trek ships, and I'm sorry to people who like Star Trek, but I don't like the way Star Trek ships look. They look like how spaceships probably would look in a realistic setting, and I hate that. I want spaceships to be like spaceship fighter planes. I'm a Star Wars kind of guy, you know? I'm not a Star Trek kind of guy. I'm a World War II air combat in space kind of guy. Though with this mod, we're kind of doing a bit more modern DCS combat in space as well, like the 10 kilometer range LRMs and shit. So let me show you the PPCs next, real quick. And I want to show you Probably the freighters after that.
Repair complete.
So we're gonna switch out this build. I like this build a lot, but we're gonna switch it out for a PPC. Now I really like PPCs, but I haven't got much play with them yet. But in what I use with them, I really like them. They're not instant hit like the lasers. They're like a particle cannon that's still really fast, has really long range, and really high burst. There it is. PPC. So, good damage. Oh, that energy usage is still insane though, damn. I've been meaning to buff the energy usage of this thing. I think a VHF could probably run it, but not with the lasers. So we got the PPC, I just want to show you how it works. We'll go Justices again, I think. We'll go some Lava Blades. So let's go... Lava Blade. I have 2 large energy slots. I could technically double PPC, but I don't think I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not gonna do it because I think it's a bad idea. Okay, I need 3 times Lava Blade if you see it. Shout out. There it is. And 2 times Lava Blades. No, just 1 times Lava Blades now. And to sell my loot. Sell all this loot we just got. We got a decent amount. Sell this. Oh, Jeff had a better countermeasure launcher, I think. I just sold the better flares that I can't use until I get a better launcher.
Loaded into cargo hold.
I got some shields I looted there that I can sell. And we'll sell our commodities. So sell our bounties. I got this loot from Jeff, I think. Sell the silver. Okay. And now we get back out there with a PPC. And after that, I think I'll do some freighter gameplay. Maybe as we go to Alamosa. Oh, we good? Huh. Server crash? Hello? Server might have crashed, we'll see. This usually means the server crashed, but it might just mean I crashed.